Another Axel 72 video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview. I'm here with Roan Stanley. Rowan, how are we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this. And just for yourself, am I right in saying you're a professional boxer who's just turning over now?
Yeah.
Brilliant,
That's it, mate. Yeah.
brilliant stuff. And so we're going to start with the question which you always like to start off with. Why did you start boxing?
So, oh God, yeah. So basically, my granddad was a British and Commonwealth champion in the army. My dad did a bit, and then he took me down to the gym at like 7,
Mm,
and then just did little bits and bobs and just fell in love with it really.
mm,
And then and then I've just not really looked back since. So yeah, we just sort of it's kind of like it's just like in the blood, mate. Do you
mm.
know what I mean? Really, yeah. It's just sort of like family, yeah. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I had a go and yeah, just liked it. So
definitely.
yeah,
And did you end up seeing any of your kind of grandparents or dad's fights?
no.
No.
I've not seen any of them, but I've heard all the stories. Do you know
Mm,
what I mean?
yeah, no, most
Uh,
definitely. And for yourself, do you remember what happened in your first amateur fight?
First amateur fight, yeah. So basically, I'm first amateur fight at 14,
Hmm.
and I had a real bad cold,
Hmm.
but I didn't like tell my coaches or anything because obviously I was like really excited to box. I was coughing and spluttering like in changing rooms and that. It was just awful. So I went out and I boxed horrendous,
Hmm.
and I lost on a points decision.
Hmm.
But the kid I boxed had 6-1-3, I think,
Hmm.
and it was my first one. And I think I was due to do quite well, and then I ended up doing really bad. So yeah, not a great experience for the first one. Like
No, of course, but of course, I did better from then on. And so, what would you say was your biggest achievement from the amateurs?
my biggest achievement for the amateurs was winning the senior elite Yorkshire belt.
Mm.
Won that, defended it. Yeah, that was I'd say is my biggest achievement. Yeah, obviously I've still got that belt now, so yeah, it's hanging up over my bed like.
No, brilliant, and I'm sure there'll be more there soon, mate. And how many
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan. And how many amateur fights did you end up having?
Amateur fights, I had 36 amateur fights
Hmm.
in total.
Okay, so a decent amount. But why have you now decided to turn pro?
That was always the plan, mate. I plan on going pro from day one, really. Like, yeah, just like the years in the amateurs was just to get the experience, fight different styles, fight different people, and then now's the time. I've been wanting to turn over for like since probably about 24, 23, 24, really, and then I was waiting for like championships and stuff, and then I just picked up injuries, and then I didn't end up going in them. So it's been a frustrating last couple of years, really.
Mm,
But I'm here now and I'm ready, so yeah, I look forward to it.
most definitely. And so I suppose throughout that time where you said maybe it was a little bit more frustrating, I'm sure you had your own
Mhm.
kind of motivation. But what was your motivation to carry on going in boxing?
Um, I'm a big sort of thing in like, why stop now?
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't come this far to only come this far.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? So I'm 36 fights deep, been boxing 12 years. That's a lot of sacrifice. That's a
mm,
lot of parties missed,
mm,
a lot of special occasions missed, birthdays not celebrated.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like put a body through grueling training for the last 12 years. Like, why am I gonna stop now? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, nah, like, I've got to keep going. Like, I'm not done. Like, I'll know when I'm done, and I'll finish when I'm done. So yeah, I've still got like loads to give. Do you know
mm,
what I mean?
mm,
So yeah, I've not done all that for nothing. Do
mm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all for this.
Most definitely, and you kind of touched upon my next question. Something that I always like to ask these kind of younger fighters coming through. You kind of touched upon how you had to miss certain events and stuff like that, and
Mm.
especially as a young fighter, of course, there's loads of kind of distractions which sometimes may take fighters away from the sport, like going out, partying, and kind of that kind of stuff. But
Mhm.
what kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
managed to keep your focus and keep yourself away from them kind of distractions?
The end goal, mate. Like the end dream of making it one day,
Mm,
making it big,
mm,
having that nice big house in the middle of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Nice land, where my kids can just grow up. I can, financially look after my family. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what it is, really. Do you know what I mean? yeah, like I fight for me, but I also fight, yeah, for family. You'd be nice, to buy, my parents a nice big house and yeah, all that. So yeah, really, yeah, just the end goal.
Mm.
You just, being a champion, really.
No, that's amazing. And just to not, I suppose, not dive too much deep into it, but from the sounds of things, of course, getting into sport for your family and wanting to provide for a family down the line, it seems that you are quite family orientated.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, my dad used to work all day every day and then take me to training,
Mm.
and we didn't live in the same town that I trained in.
Mm.
So what, he used to drive me 30, 40 mile every day, taking me to the gym, sat outside the gym for 2 hours every day, waiting for me to finish, bringing me home. He'd do that 3, 4 times a week. Do you know what I mean? So like he put a lot of time into me,
Mm.
in my training and stuff. So yeah, like really, what my parents enabling me to do it and taking me in that all the time. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't really be here now doing what I'm doing. So yeah, I feel like yeah, I owe them a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So
Totally, it's great. And so let's speak about this upcoming fight of yours. You believe it's this weekend, am I right in saying?
yeah, yeah, mate, yeah, yeah. It's tomorrow. Yeah,
Tomorrow?
so
Yep.
yeah, you've caught me right
Yep.
in
In the good time.
in the midst of making weight.
Yes, okay, and I do appreciate it. I know that making weight can sometimes be a little bit of a struggle, but for yourself, first of all, what weight are you coming in at, and second of all, is it not too difficult to make?
Yeah, so I'm coming at 12 stone 2, which is just over the super middleweight limit.
Mm.
That's obviously because I'm going to be weighing in at 5 p.m. Probably going to be fighting seven, between 7 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've only got about 2 to 3 hours, sort
Yeah.
of like notice from weighing into actually fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not making a weight that's too hard to make
Mm-hmm.
because obviously I deplete myself too much. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm eating like
Mm-hmm.
small and often light stuff. And obviously, all through camp, I've been eating really good food.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I love pizza, me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I'm a big pizza eater. Like, so obviously, yeah, I've been eating clean for weeks, and so I'm ready to get the fight done and have a nice fat pizza
Mm-hmm.
after. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in terms of making weight, it's not too hard. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? I'll fight at middleweight when I get the more notice.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I'm a weight above what I should be. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Okay, no, I totally agree. And so you're going to be fighting on a VIP boxing show, and so how excited are you to be on one of their cards?
Yeah, mate, I'm buzzing. Yeah, this is obviously my debut. Simon Steve Woods, so I'll be on like all the VIP shows hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, yeah, I'm excited, mate. It's been a long time coming. I was supposed to have my debut earlier in the year, and then obviously like things just slowed down. We were medical, they couldn't process it in time, and it was just a nightmare. So like that sort of like put things back a few months, but now I'm here, and I'm ready to go. Like so, yeah, no, I'm buzzing.
Good to hear. And so, I mean, you kind of touched upon this already, but overall, for this, of course, you've now had a little bit of time, maybe a little bit longer than you would have hoped since you've kind of last been in the ring and fighting, of course. But you've had a long time, therefore, to kind of be in a camp, I suppose, or just be training in general. And so, overall,
Mhm.
how's it been?
Yeah, no, good mate. Yeah, 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 really good. My camp for the April fight was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that fell through. I had like a week or two off, and then I was straight back in, training, ready for this really. So yeah, no, yeah, it's been good. I've had like 2 back-to-back camps really for it, so I'm all and ready really. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, no, I feel good. I feel like I've left no stone unturned really. Do you know what I mean?
Great stuff. And so, for your kind of fans coming to watch you that may have not watched you fight before, what would you say makes yourself interesting as a fighter?
It really make me interested. I don't really. It's hard to say what style I've got. I can switch it up. I'm a bit of a switch hitter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be orthodox. I might switch it southpaw, 30 seconds, switch it back. I've got a good jab. I box at range. People come into me. I'm quite sharp. I can counter really quick,
Mm-hmm.
really fast. But I do all kinds of stuff. I might drop my hands for a round and I'm by my waist and just move my head and just rely on my reflexes. I might tuck up tight and go in and go up close and start banging. Like I kind of do a bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I see work, whatever I think I need to do on the night to win is what I'll do. So not no two fights of mine are the
Mm,
same, I want to say.
mm,
So that's why I think it's probably quite exciting to come watch.
most definitely,
Because
mate.
yeah, after this one, you might see me in a few months. I might be completely just different.
Okay, no, that sounds amazing, mate. And I suppose when you have got that maybe kind of switching of styles, is there any kind of styles that you kind of look at from other fighters? Any kind of little tweaks you take from other fighters?
Yeah. There's absolutely loads of fighters that I love and I like, and I watch them all the time. Josh Kelly the other night, obviously boxed, did well, and like his style a bit like when he drops his hands, I think I'm a little bit like that.
Mm,
But then I see other fighters and I think, I'm also a bit like that.
yeah.
Like I say, like I do mix it up a bit,
Mhm.
but I'm a big boxing fan,
Mm,
so I do watch a lot of boxing.
mhm.
And I see little things, maybe little like pivots or little trick shots, and I think, right, do you know what I mean?
Mm,
I'll go back to the gym and I'll try that.
mhm.
So yeah, not necessarily like an individual fighter, but things that other fighters do,
Mm.
I do pick up on, and I do try and, you know, I don't know, sort of like put it into my arsenal a bit. Do you know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. And in my opinion, I feel like the best kind of fighters, especially coming up, they find the most success when they do have an enjoyment and are a fan of boxing just in general and do end up watching it and stuff like that because I feel like you do need to be
Yeah,
that kind of
100%.
student of the game and I suppose would you say that you are that student of the game?
Yeah. I mean, mate, I've been watching boxing on YouTube and that sort of not YouTube boxers, but I was YouTubing like Joe Calzaghe and that
Mm,
when I was like 12, 13 and that, and I was what like I watched all these
mm,
fights, before I'd even had a fight myself,
mm,
just because I just loved it and I
mm,
just really liked it, and I just thought, like one day, if I got there, that'd be mint like.
mm,
So yeah, I've been watching boxing for years, really.
mm. Brilliant stuff. Sorry if you can hear any background noise, mate. My dog is going crazy. Anyway,
No, that's all right.
anyway, so just for your kind of future ambitions in the sport, what would you say, or how far do you believe you can go?
Yeah, so like people ask me this all the time, and for me, like I just want to be the best I can be.
Mm,
Obviously, ideally, I want world titles.
yeah,
I want to be a world champion.
yeah.
If you're asking me ideally, I want to be face of boxing. I want to be pound for pound king. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, yeah, for me, I just keep training as hard as I do, keep living the life, eating clean, making the sacrifices, and the achievements should follow. And wherever I land, I'll land. Do you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
yeah, just I'll know I've done everything I can to be the best I can be. So wherever that may be, I'll be happy with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course. And of course, if you're going to be wanting these kind of big world titles and big fights, of course, you're going to be then headlining. And so, if you could pick maybe a dream venue of a place that you'd like to headline, where would that be?
Mm. So I'm originally from Huddersfield,
Okay.
so I think Huddersfield football ground
Mhm.
definitely.
Mhm.
I've dreamt that a few times. We're taking a world title back there. That'd be wicked.
Mhm.
To fight for a world title in Huddersfield.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be sick. So yeah, that would be my dream. I know a lot of people probably dream like Vegas and stuff, but
No,
no.
definitely.
Yeah, I think the football ground Huddersfield. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, definitely. No, you see a lot of fights, especially as of recent. You got the likes of like Chris Billum Smith going to Bournemouth and Lee Wood getting talked to going to the
yeah,
Nottingham
exactly.
Forest ground and stuff like that. And it is just
Mm,
nice to kind of bring that kind of home. And I suppose it also is like a maybe not a dream ending, but like a dream like peak. You can something you can look back on when you do
mm.
retire, and you can see like, oh yeah, I've had these big nights and brought them back to my home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like that'd be a great achievement, wouldn't it? And just to be able to pass there, be like, I fought in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be wicked.
yeah.
I'd love that.
Definitely. Great stuff. All right. Well, I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask you. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Um, well, to be honest, I'd like to shout out to my sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got Flexi Space and A&B Healthcare. Them two from Mike Burrell. He's a mint guy. He sponsored me through the amateurs and now onto the pros. So I couldn't really do it without him. A big shout out to Brandon Sewell, another sponsor of mine. Does my strength and conditioning, my nutritions. Another shout out to Roof Tech, Joe Baker. He always sorts out with bits and bobs that I need. And then a massive shout out to my wife, who through this camp has been absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? She sort of covered everything home based that's needed to be done to allow me to have as little stress as possible and train as much as I can. Really, do you know what I mean? So yeah, she makes all meals and yeah, does everything. So yeah, thank you.
Amazing stuff. All right, mate. Well, best of luck with the fight tomorrow, and so
Thank you,
maybe,
appreciate it.
and yeah, I do really appreciate your time here today, and hopefully, maybe a little
No,
bit
no,
further on
Sal, mate.
down the line, we can come and have you back on the channel again.
Yeah.
Lovely.
That'd be great.
Okay, and so if you're on your Roan Stanley, subscribe, please do so. Like the video if you like the video, and thanks for watching.